I looked at all three first renders and I thought to myself, Claude Design is the most robotic looking thing of the three. And I meant that. So I turned the whole test blind. I shuffled the letters every single round, and then I gave that the same tool three straight wins without knowing it was the one I've just written off. So I set up three ways to make motion graphics without touching After Effects. Remotion, you write the code. HyperFrames is the framework. It's code-driven animation you build in a structured system. And Claude Design, you just describe the shot in plain English and it builds it. And full disclosure, HyperFrames is the tool that my whole editing pipeline runs on. So I've got a horse in this race and it could lose on camera. So I ran the whole thing blind. It's the only way I stay honest about this. So the question that I'm trying to answer here is, Remotion or Claude Design good enough to replace my HyperFrames workflow? Or is HyperFrames still the go-to for all things animation? So quick rules so you know this is fair. We have 6 identical prompts that get harder each round. Every tool it runs completely on its own until it hits a first render. There's no hand holding, there's no nudging from me. I capture receipts on everything. Wall clock times, iteration counts, every single export, and the blind letter reshuffle every round so you can't read a streak. And one more thing, before I judged a single clip, I had a second judge score every clip at the frame level, all sealed before I even took a look. And the second judge was Claude. And yes, one of the 3 tool in here, it is called Claude Design, and my judge is Claude. It's different jobs though. So one's making the animations, the other's just scoring frames. So round 1, I'm watching all 3 side by side, and there's a big difference there for me right away. The highlight effect on this one, it looks a lot cleaner. It uses this ease in and ease out animation, and that gives it such a clean look. And watch the text here. It's white and then it turns black after it gets highlighted, which is pretty cool. One of them actually flipped the letter color under the highlight. So for round 1, my order is first HyperFrames, second Remotion, then third Claude Design. The HyperFrames one was just a lot smoother. It traces through the line a little bit more with a little bit more energy to it. And I'll be straight with you. This round, I could see the names, remember that, because it's about to matter. And after the first round, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm being a little bit biased here. It's like if you handed me a Pepsi and a Coke with the labels on, of course I'm gonna pick my favorite. So we're gonna turn this into a blind test. Labels are off. We have A, B, and C. I don't find out who made what until the very end. All right, it's blind now. The first wash, this looks pretty cool. I'm honestly not too sure who did that one yet, and I'm not going to find out. This one's a lot slower pace. Probably my least favorite is C. C just goes really slowly. I like B better because there's some depth in the background, the way that it pops up and moves. But A is my winner. The way that it moves, it traces the line and connects from one box to the other, and it pops up and uses that depth without even being prompted to. And remember, all of these got the exact same prompt, so A over B over C. Now round 3, this time C is the winner. The animation just feels a lot smoother than the other two. Like that little bounce at the end, it gives it a little bit of life. B I like because it uses different colors to differentiate everything, but otherwise it's basically the same thing as A. And A uses all the same colors, so C, then B, then A. And for this one at least, I'm gonna start guessing. I think C is HyperFrames, B is probably Remotion, and A is probably Claude Design. Let's lock that in. I could be completely wrong, but lock it in. Okay, round 4, and this is the hard one. This is where they split apart. The prompts had 2 parts. Put a callout box on the tweet, then a highlight that draws itself over the words. A did that second part the best, the highlight and the underline all at once. A also has a slight push in at the end, so it keeps everything really clean looking. B though, B is not really a highlight effect. It just boxed around it and then it underlined it. The highlight box just magically appears over the word instead of drawing itself. But I'll give B this. It's a lot smoother in the animation. It keeps everything centered and it uses the frame the best. C did the rounded box, but the underline sweep, it was way too subtle. You can't really see it, especially if you're far away, and it left a lot of empty space on that right side. So A over B over C. Each one had its own strength and each one its own weakness. In this round, adhering to the prompt won it. And keep in mind, the whole Claude Design lane got there from plain English. I described a shot, it built it. For a no-code creator, that's kind of the appeal. Round 5, cinematic titles. C is my winner, and it's the push-in. It's a much smoother zoom than A. Whenever you think of the word cinematic, think of something slow. Slow and very well done. Well thought out. A is strong too, but it moves just a lot quicker, so it reads less cinematic. It depends on the feel that you're going for, and it's the same move, but at a different speed. And it's a completely different genre of shot. And B doesn't even do anything. Right off the bat, I can say it did not adhere to anything. It didn't enter one word at a time. B is just so bad. Now, guesses. B, I actually think that's Claude Design, and only because at the bottom right, there's a replay button. That was the dead giveaway. Only a web app bakes its own button into a video export. C, I'll say is Remotion, and A is HyperFrame. I'm not too sure on those though, so don't quote me. Round 6, the lower third, and I'll just say it, I do not like any of them. All three are equally bad. If I had to pick one, I actually use it as is with no changes. B, then C, then A. And A, for some reason, is very low resolution. The sizing, it looks off and it breaks a basic design rule. If you got text this big, like this, the logo needs to match the size. The proportions are way off, but it does look kind of cool though. The logo itself and the way the progress bar it moves. B is very classic call card feel. C is very different. I don't think I ever seen that style before. Then I sent all three the same revision. New accent color and make it faster. And watch this. The colors are different, I guess. That's the only thing that's different, just the colors. With two changes, a new color and a faster cut, the only one my eyes caught was the color. Let's pull the labels off. Round 2, that was Claude Design. Round 3, also Claude Design. And round 4, Claude Design. The funny thing is, the tool that I called the most robotic of the three, Blind, I gave it a straight 3 wins. My own eyes betrayed me. And my guess is 6 totals, and I only got 2 right. Round 3, I called B as Remotion. Round 5, I called B as Claude Design. Both hits, both the letter B. The only letter I could read this whole test was B. And that round 5 one, I only got because I spotted a bug in it. It wasn't the craft. Except, remember, we have one more judge. Claude scored all 21 of these clips at the frame level. It was sealed before I said a single word, and here it's tally. HyperFrames 3 and Remotion 3. Claude Design 0. Not a single round. So think about that. They were all the same clips, 2 judges, and we split completely. Blind, I handed Claude Design 3 wins, and the frame level pass handed it 0. So how does it happen? Even in the rounds I gave it, Claude Design had problems. I just didn't catch them at full speed. Watch. Round 2, the one I actually gave it, look early, there are ghost lines already sitting on the canvas before the boxes that draws them even exist. Round 3, my other win, the counter and the bars are supposed to move together, and in the tail, they drift apart. It's the little stuff, and I missed it live, but then look at the rounds it lost. The cinematic title, zoomed in, the spacing collapsed. It literally spells the AI editor as one word. There's the replay button I spotted baked right into the export, a placeholder watermark that says video camera frame. It's inside the final file, and this progress bar is supposed to fill once it loops. Now, the receipts. Because the look isn't the whole entire story, on raw speed alone, Remotion finished first in every single generation round. All 6, somewhere between 77 seconds and about 3 minutes. On the revision, HyperFrames flipped it and came back at 103 seconds. And Claude Design twice. Its export just failed. It built the animation and then it couldn't hand me a video without a fix message. Now, that's costly when you're on a deadline. And remember how the only change I could see was the color? The receipt says all 3 nailed both. Everyone landed exactly 8 seconds, exactly 20% faster. Viewers noticed colors, they don't notice timing. Okay, so where I've landed on all 3, Remotion is the engineer. It's correct, it's fast, revisable, and never the prettiest. When I watched the HyperFrames render back, every single time it was the camera work that stood out. The moves, the choreography, the texture in the transitions. One caveat, its layout spacing can slip when the content changes length. And Claude Design is the best looking frames in the entire test, and you cannot ship a single one of them raw. But one asterisk on that, and it's on me. Only the two code lanes got a no extra embellishment wrapper on their prompt. Claude Design, it got the raw brief, so some of what I rewarded blind was partly it being allowed to add more. Anything with counters or data, it goes to Remotion. Numbers are basically code's home turf, and if you're trying to figure out what a shot should look like even before you build it, that's design development, and that goes to Claude Design. Describe the vibes, and it hands you a target frame. So my question going in, is Remotion or Claude Design good enough to replace HyperFrames workflow? HyperFrames, it stays on camera. The moat is just narrower than I thought, and it's Remotion knocking, not Claude Design. My workflow, it keeps HyperFrames on camera, it hires Remotion for volume, and it consults Claude Design before the shoot, never for the final export. You just build a system that let each tool do the one thing it's actually best at. It sounds boring, and it works. What I want to try next is chaining all three together. Claude Design decides the look, HyperFrame films it, and then I hand the variants off to Remotion to ship at volume. That's what I'm looking at testing next.